Imagine a force so precise, so faithful, that every word you speak, every thought you hold, every feeling you embrace shapes the very circumstances of your life. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a river, and with each word of faith, each thought of abundance, the waters of supply rush toward you, carrying opportunities, money, and blessings you never dared to dream. What if I told you that every fear you have ever spoken quietly closes doors, and every word of trust you declare swings them wide open? What if the key to attracting money every single day was already in your hands, not in banks, investments, or luck, but in the unseen power of your own voice, imagination, and heart? Today you will learn how to unlock this invisible law, how to speak, imagine, give, and feel in ways that magnetize abundance into your life, so that money, opportunity, and divine supply flow freely and effortlessly every single day. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was not only with God, but the Word was God, clothed in sound and life. Every syllable uttered into the unseen is like a seed cast into fertile soil, invisible for a time yet pregnant with the harvest it carries. When you speak, you are not merely using air and language, you are shaping the very substance of reality. The unseen power listens, takes your words as commands, and arranges the outer world to obey the inner decree. Money, wealth, opportunities, all forms of supply, are obedient servants to the voice that speaks with faith. But most souls wander through life unaware of this law, letting fear and lack tumble carelessly from their lips, not realizing that each complaint, each anxious prediction, each lament is a seed also, and it too will bear fruit after its own kind. The power of the spoken word does not discriminate, it fulfills what it hears. If you say, "I never have enough," the law nods silently and says, "As you decree, so shall it be." If you whisper, "Money comes to me easily and often," the same law bows and begins to move heaven and earth to bring that word to life. To attract money every day, one must become the careful guardian of speech. The mouth is a gate through which either plenty or poverty is invited. There is no neutral utterance. Every word goes forth clothed with belief, carried on the wings of emotion, and like a magnet draws to itself after its own nature. This is why the wise speak little, and when they do speak, their words are chosen as if they were precious coins. For indeed, words spend the currency of the unseen world. They purchase conditions, summon circumstances, build bridges where there were none, or destroy the very thing one longs to create. The tongue, though small, steers the whole vessel of life. Consider how many souls cry out daily, "I can't afford this. Money doesn't stay with me. I'm always behind," and then wonder why the river of wealth seems dammed upstream. They do not see that each phrase is a blueprint, a command to the universe, shaping forces beyond sight. The law cannot bring abundance to a gate where the watchman keeps shouting, "There is not enough." Words must change before conditions can change. To speak abundance while feeling lack may seem at first like folly, but it is the highest wisdom, for speech plants the seed even before the ground shows the green blade. There is a rhythm to creation, a time for planting and a time for harvest. But the tongue works instantly in the realm of cause, though effects may ripen slowly in the realm of matter. When you declare daily, with faith as calm as a mountain lake, "Money comes to me in perfect ways, under grace, in divine abundance," you are not begging or bargaining with life. You are aligning with a principle older than the stars. You are speaking the language creation understands. The very molecules of air carry the vibration of that decree, and unseen forces begin arranging ideas, people, and events like pieces on a grand chessboard, so that what you have spoken with conviction must take form. But words spoken without faith are like arrows shot without aim. They fall harmlessly to the ground. It is the feeling behind the word that gives it wings. When you speak of money, speak as if you already walk in the land of plenty, as if the vaults of heaven have already swung open, as if each syllable were stamped with royal authority. Speak not with the tremor of doubt, but with the quiet certainty of one who knows the law cannot fail. The farmer does not wring his hands over the seed once it is planted. He trusts the soil, the rain, the sun. So must you trust the law of the spoken word. Plant the seed of plenty with your speech, water it with faith, warm it with expectation, and the harvest must come. Do not despise small beginnings. When you first speak words of abundance, conditions may seem stubborn, unmoved, even mocking. It is as if life tests the firmness of your faith, asking, "Do you really believe?" Many abandon their decree at this point, digging up the seed with words of discouragement, undoing the very work they began. They speak abundance at dawn and lack at noon, not realizing the law follows the latest command. If a king issued an order in the morning and cancelled it by evening, would his kingdom not be in chaos? So it is with the realm within you. Let your words be consistent, steady, unshaken by appearances. Say, "I cannot see the way, but the way is prepared. Money comes to me daily freely, abundantly, for every need and every good desire." Hold to this even when the purse is light and the road seems long, for speech is the first cause, and matter must follow spirit as the shadow follows the form. Some will say, "But I spoke words of wealth, and nothing happened." Yet they speak once, then contradict it 100 times with idle chatter of lack, fear, and complaint. The law is not mocked, it gives back what it hears most often, what is charged with the deepest emotion. To change one's speech is to change the current of life itself. Begin therefore with the tongue. Let no scarcity pass your lips. Speak not of bills you cannot pay, but of supply that knows no limit. Say not, "I am broke," but "I am rich in divine ideas, and money flows to me from every direction." Every word is a prophecy, self-fulfilling and exact. There is also power in the spoken blessing. Bless your money as it comes and as it goes. Speak increase over it. Say, "This money returns multiplied." It blesses all it touches. Such words charge the very substance of money with creative power, causing it to circulate back with increase. To curse money, to call it scarce, hard to get, the root of evil, is to shut the door to its flow. Bless it, speak well of it, see it as divine supply in visible form, and it will hurry to dwell with you. Daily practice is the key. Morning and evening, make your decrees as a king commands his realm. Speak aloud, for the spoken word carries vibration and authority that silent thought alone does not. Let your words roll forth with feeling, painting pictures in the unseen. Say, "Today, money comes to me in perfect ways. I am a magnet for divine abundance. All channels of supply are open. I am rich in mind, rich in substance, rich in opportunities." Speak until you feel the truth of it stirring within, for feeling is the bridge between word and manifestation. Over time, your words clothe themselves in flesh. Opportunities appear, ideas flash forth, doors open where walls once stood. People call it coincidence, the wise know it as the law responding to speech. What you speak with faith becomes flesh, becomes form, becomes the outer picture of the inner decree. This is the power placed in every soul, that by words we shape destiny, call forth supply, command plenty from the unseen storehouse of life. Fear is the great thief of man's inheritance. It creeps in like a shadow at dusk, whispering of lack, of loss, of looming disaster. Fear builds pictures in the mind, empty purses, unpaid bills, doors slammed shut, and the trembling heart believes those pictures to be real. Yet fear is but faith inverted. It is faith in evil rather than faith in good, faith in lack instead of faith in abundance. The same force that could bring wealth when directed toward divine supply brings poverty when chained to visions of loss. The law does not choose sides. It simply brings to life the images most often held with feeling. Fear paints lack on the canvas of the unseen, and life, obedient and impartial, reproduces it in the outer world with faithful precision. Many souls pray for prosperity while secretly fearing its absence. They speak words of supply but feel pictures of debt, and the law follows the feeling. For the heart writes deeper commands than the lips. Fear blocks the channels of supply like ice freezing a river. It stops the current of good, delays opportunities, blinds the eyes to doors standing open. Faith, on the other hand, melts the ice, clears the channels, lets the river of abundance flow freely once more. When fear departs, supply rushes in as if it had been waiting at the gates all along, for indeed it had. How then to cast out fear? Not by wrestling with it, for struggle only feeds it. Darkness vanishes not by fighting, but by lighting a lamp. So with fear it dissolves when faith enters. One cannot hold both at the same time, for they are opposites. To cling to one is to let go of the other. Faith is the sure knowledge, deep and calm, that the universe is friendly, that supply is certain, that divine law cannot fail, that every need is already met before it arises. Faith sees the invisible abundance already prepared and walks toward it with steady steps, unshaken by appearances. Money comes not to the fearful heart, for fear vibrates with want, and like attracts like. Faith, however, vibrates with plenty, and plenty hastens to dwell with it. When you say, "I fear I will never have enough," you close the very door you wish to open. When you say, with calm conviction, "I walk in abundance, every need is perfectly supplied," you fling the door wide, and supply rushes in. Life takes you at your deepest feeling. It reads not the anxious prayer, but the hidden conviction beneath it. Therefore, cultivate faith as one tends a garden, watering it daily with affirmations of good, pulling up weeds of doubt, keeping out the frost of fear. Faith is not a vague hope, nor a strained belief, nor the grit of human willpower. It is the quiet certainty that divine law governs all things, that nothing can withhold your good, that money, like the air you breathe, is part of infinite supply, moving freely, endlessly, ceaselessly. Look at nature. The sun gives light without fear of running out. The oceans ebb and flow without anxiety. The trees bring forth leaves each spring without doubt or worry. So too does supply move through life when unblocked by fear. The same law that keeps stars in their courses governs the flow of money when faith replaces fear. Some imagine that fear is practical, that worry keeps them alert. In truth, fear blinds the eyes, strangles the mind, closes the hands that should be open to receive. The man who fears poverty often makes the very mistakes that bring it. He hoards when he should release, clings when he should invest, speaks lack when he should speak plenty. Fear-driven actions scatter wealth, faith-guided actions multiply it. The universe responds to the inner state before it responds to the outer act. Therefore, begin with the heart. Each morning, before the day unrolls its events, sit in the stillness and drive out fear with words of truth. Say, "I walk today in perfect abundance. Infinite supply meets me at every step. I fear nothing. I expect everything good." Speak it until the tremor leaves your voice, until the calm of faith settles like sunlight after a storm. Fear will return many times, knocking at the door with urgent news of lack, of bills, of uncertain tomorrows. Meet it each time with faith's unshaken reply. I live in a universe of abundance. There is always more coming than going. Divine supply never fails. Over time, fear grows wary of a door that never opens to it. Faith takes up permanent residence, and with faith comes the steady inflow of supply. Faith also sees through appearances. The bank account may be small, yet faith sees the unseen riches already on the way. Faith knows that present conditions are but the shadows of yesterday's thoughts and words, soon to be replaced by today's declarations of abundance. Fear bows before appearances and cries, "It is hopeless." Faith looks at the same picture and calmly says, "This too shall pass. Supply is already prepared." The man of faith walks through seeming drought with the same calm as through harvest, for he knows the law works unseen, and the rain will come in its season. To live in faith is to refuse fear's language. Never say, "I can't afford this," for each such word writes lack into the unseen. Say instead, "If this is for my good, the way opens. Divine supply pays the bill." Never say, "I fear money is running out," for the law hears running out and obeys. Say instead, "Money flows to me endlessly, like the tide returning to the shore." Replace every fear thought with a faith decree, as one would replace darkness with light. One may ask, but what if fear feels stronger than faith? Then speak the words of faith until they take root. Words are seeds, plant them long enough, and they grow into conviction. Say, I have faith that money comes to me now, quickly, easily, under grace. Repeat it, not with frantic striving, but with steady rhythm, like the tide beating against the rocks until they wear smooth. Faith grows by hearing itself speak. The heart comes to believe what it hears daily from the lips. There is also power in acting as if supply were certain. Faith walks, talks, spends, gives and plans as though abundance were guaranteed. This does not mean folly or reckless waste. It means moving through life with the quiet dignity of one who knows provision awaits each step. Fear hesitates, clutches, withholds, expecting loss. Faith releases, blesses, expects increase. Life reflects the attitude. Money flees the grasping hand but fills the open palm. Fear builds dams, faith builds channels. Fear digs ditches of lack, faith plants orchards of plenty. Over time, the man who casts out fear with faith finds doors opening where there were none, finds ideas arriving at just the right moment, finds money flowing through unexpected channels. Others call it luck, he knows it as law. For life forever reflects the inner state: fear in, lack out, faith in, abundance out. The universe moves in circles, the tides rise and fall, the seasons come and go, the planets sweep through their orbits, and all life breathes in and out in perfect rhythm. Giving and receiving are but two halves of this one eternal motion, as inseparable as the inhale and the exhale. To receive without giving is to try to hold your breath. Soon stagnation sets in, for the law demands circulation. Money is no different from air or water. It must flow. It comes through open channels, blesses as it passes, and returns multiplied when released in faith. Many souls clutch money in fear, trying to hold it tight, and wonder why it slips through their fingers like sand. They do not see that hoarding dams the river, that giving keeps it flowing, that release is the secret of increase. The law is simple, yet many stumble over it. What you give, you set in motion to return. Give grudgingly, and the return limps back half-hearted. Give with fear, and fear colors the harvest. But give with love, with faith, with the calm knowledge that the universe forever replaces what is given, and money rushes back in greater measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. The soil does not lose by yielding its harvest, it gains strength for the next planting. The tree is not poorer for shedding fruit, it is richer, for it fulfills its purpose and receives the sunshine and rain anew. So with man's, when he gives freely, fearlessly, joyfully, he aligns with the law of life itself, and life hastens to fill his hands again. Many say, I will give when I have more, not seeing that giving is the very key to having more. The seed must go into the ground before the harvest can rise. To wait for the harvest before planting is folly, yet many wait for abundance before giving, wondering why abundance delays. Giving is not measured by amount but by spirit. The widow's mite, given with faith, outweighs the gold cast in pride or fear. The law reads the heart, not the sum. A coin given in love opens channels of fortune given in vanity cannot touch. Some fear that giving diminishes their store, as though supply were a fixed pie with only so many slices. But the universe is infinite, its storehouses cannot be emptied. To give is to declare, I trust the source. I live in endless supply. That very declaration flings open doors for more to enter. The hand that gives in faith cannot remain empty, for the law rushes to refill it. Just as air floods a vacuum, supply floods the space left by giving. The moment you release, you make room for increase. Giving also dissolves fear. The one who can give freely proves to himself that he lives under divine law, not under limitation. Each act of fearless giving is a blow struck at the citadel of lack in the mind. It says to fear, you do not rule me. I live by faith in the endless supply of life. Fear weakens when defied, faith strengthens when acted upon. Giving is faith in motion, and the universe always meets faith with fulfillment. But giving must be led by intuition, not impulse or vanity. Some give recklessly to impress others, and emptiness follows, for the motive was pride, not faith. Others give where no blessing flows, pouring into channels that waste rather than multiply. True giving listens inwardly. The quiet voice of wisdom guides where to plant the seed so it grows, blesses, returns. When giving is ordered by intuition and wrapped in love, the law guarantees increase. There are many forms of giving. Money is only one. A word of encouragement, a helping hand, a moment of listening. These too are gifts, and life returns them in kind. Yet money obeys the same law. To send it forth blessed is to plant it in rich soil. Some hand out money while thinking, "This leaves me poorer," and so it returns poorly. Others release it saying, "This blesses all it touches and comes back multiplied," and so it does. Words spoken over money charge it with the nature of the return. Bless your money as it goes, bless it as it comes. Speak increase over it at every stage. Giving also cures greed. The miser lives in fear, seeing money as his only security, hoarding it while life grows smaller around him. He does not see that money cut off from circulation grows cold, that wealth hoarded in fear turns to dust in the soul. The river must flow or it becomes a swamp. The man who gives freely lives in wide horizons. Opportunities seek him, ideas visit him, people are drawn to him. He becomes a channel for the abundance of life, and the law rushes to keep that channel filled. Receiving is the other half of the law, yet many block it with guilt or false humility. They give but refuse to receive, feeling unworthy, and so the circle breaks. To give freely but receive grudgingly is like exhaling without inhaling, soon the breath runs out. Life intends constant circulation. As you give, expect to receive. As you bless others, let others bless you. As you send money forth, let money flow back without resistance. False pride says, "I need nothing," and shuts the door to abundance waiting outside. True humility receives with gratitude, knowing the giver is also blessed in the exchange. Each day offers chances to practice this law. Pay a bill with resentment, and you tie knots in the channel. Pay it with gratitude. I bless this money as it goes, it returns multiplied, and you keep the current clear. Tip the waiter, give to the cause. Help the neighbor, support the work that blesses others, all with the calm faith that life rushes to refill every channel you open. The law has never failed. It cannot fail, for giving and receiving are one motion, like the swing of a pendulum. Over time, as one gives in faith and receives in gratitude, money begins to flow with rhythm and ease. Fear of lack fades, for experience proves the law true. You find money coming from directions you never imagined, for life uses countless channels. One door closes, 3 more open. One stream dries, a river appears. The law of circulation keeps supply moving, finding its way through ideas, people, opportunities, work, investments, gifts, and channels beyond counting. Your part is to keep the current open by fearless giving, grateful receiving, constant blessing, and steady faith in the infinite source behind it all. All things are created twice, first in the unseen, then in the seen. The outer world is but the shadow cast by the inner picture. The house exists first as the architect's vision before it rises in brick and stone. The voyage exists first in the mind before the ship sets sail. The garden blooms first in thought before seed ever touches soil. So it is with wealth. Before money fills the purse, it must fill the imagination. The mind paints pictures, and life, like a faithful servant, copies them in outward form. Imagination is the womb of creation. Yet many fill it with images of lack, fear, and failure, then wonder why the harvest is barren. They see themselves struggling, see bills piling, see doors closed, and life, taking its cue from the vivid pictures, reproduces them faithfully. The law does not question, it obeys. The mind paints. Life develops the picture. If the inner gallery hangs portraits of poverty, the outer world will display them in living color. Change the picture within, and the scene without must follow, for the two are bound by law as seed to fruit, cause to effect, root to flower. To attract money every day, fill the imagination with abundance until it overflows. See money coming in expected and unexpected ways. See yourself paying every bill with ease, blessing the money as it goes, watching it return multiplied. See opportunities arriving, doors opening, ideas flashing like sunlight on water. Let the picture grow vivid until you feel its reality more strongly than the evidence of the senses. The unseen must be felt as real before it can appear in the scene. Some protest, "But I cannot imagine what I have never known." Yet every inventor, every builder, every creator first imagined what did not yet exist. The Wright brothers saw flight before the first plane rose from the earth. The sculptor sees the figure in the stone before the first blow of the chisel. So with wealth, you must see yourself prosperous before the channels of prosperity can open. Imagination is the blueprint, life is the builder. No builder can work without a plan. Yet imagination alone is not daydreaming, it is not idle castles in the air. It is disciplined, directed, charged with feeling and faith. The picture must be vivid, repeated, believed in. A passing wish sketches a faint outline. Sustained imagination paints in color, depth, and detail until the mind accepts it as reality. The subconscious, once impressed, moves heaven and earth to bring the picture into being. It draws ideas, people, opportunities, circumstances, money itself, as iron filings leap to a magnet. Therefore, spend time each day building the inner picture of abundance. Sit in the quiet, close the eyes, and see yourself living in perfect supply. See the home, the bank account, the freedom from worry, the ability to give generously, the opportunities unfolding. See it clearly, as though watching a scene already true. Add the feeling of gratitude, for gratitude seals the picture with faith. Say inwardly, "I am so thankful this is already mine," and the subconscious takes it as done. Do not outline how it must come. The picture is your part. The method is life's part. Some paint the vision, then spoil it by fretting over channels, saying, "But my salary is small, my business is slow, the economy is poor." They forget that imagination draws from infinite supply, not from one limited source. Money has countless ways of coming through ideas, new work, gifts, investments, opportunities, even seeming accidents. The channel you expect may close only so a better one may open. Hold the picture. Leave the method free. Imagination also breaks the chains of the present. Many look at current lack and let it shrink their vision. They say, "I will imagine more when I have more." But that day never comes, for the picture within remains small, so the supply without remains small. Imagination must rise above appearances, painting abundance where none yet shows. The desert blooms only because someone first imagined water flowing there. Your finances bloom when you imagine wealth flowing where lack once lay. Children imagine easily, they live half in the unseen, turning sticks to swords and boxes to castles. Then life teaches them to fear, to doubt, to shrink their visions to fit circumstances. Yet the law has not changed what the mind pictures with feeling, life brings forth. To recover the childlike power of imagination is to reclaim the keys of creation itself. See yourself again as the child sees, unhindered by past failures, alive with possibility, unafraid to paint boldly on the canvas within. Some fear to imagine wealth, thinking it selfish or material. Yet money in itself is only a symbol of supply, a tool for blessing, a servant for good. The more you have, the more channels open for giving, helping, creating, uplifting. Poverty helps none, abundance blesses many. To imagine wealth is to imagine channels of blessing flowing freely through your life to others. The river that overflows its banks waters many fields. So the life rich in supply waters many lives with its overflow. Imagination also shapes words and actions. The man who sees himself prosperous speaks differently, acts differently, carries himself with quiet confidence. He expects opportunities, so he notices them. He expects money to flow, so he moves toward it without fear. The inner picture becomes the outer attitude, and the outer attitude draws the very conditions imagined. Life treats you according to the picture you hold of yourself. See yourself poor, and life agrees. See yourself rich in ideas, opportunities, and money, and life says, "So be it." To strengthen imagination, collect symbols of abundance. A prosperous thought, a success story, a picture of the thing desired, all feed the inner vision. Speak affirmations that paint pictures. I see money flowing to me now. I see every bill paid, every need met, every good desire fulfilled. I see myself giving freely, receiving freely, living in constant supply. Words build pictures, pictures build reality. At first the picture may feel unreal, like sunlight in winter, distant and pale. Keep painting. Repetition warms it into life. The subconscious accepts what it sees often enough, vivid enough, charged with feeling enough. One day the picture no longer feels imagined but inevitable, and then doors open, channels appear, money flows, ideas arrive, people help, opportunities spring up like seeds after rain. Imagination backed by faith is irresistible. It is the architect's plan handed to the master builder of the universe. Life builds whatever plan it receives. Give it lack, and it builds lack. Give it abundance, and it builds abundance. The picture is the prophecy, the outer world its fulfillment. Gratitude is the secret force that draws supply to the hand. It is the invisible magnet, the unseen lodestone, the silent law that multiplies blessings and opens channels of abundance. Without gratitude, the heart is a barren field. The soil cannot yield, no matter how good the seed or how abundant the rain. Yet with gratitude, even the smallest supply becomes fertile, growing into wealth beyond measure. To live in daily gratitude is to live in constant communion with the law, recognizing that every gift, every blessing, every coin, every opportunity comes from the infinite source, and by acknowledging it, we set the flow in motion. Many fail to see the power of gratitude because they look only at what is lacking. They focus on bills unpaid, goals unmet, debts looming, and imagine that gratitude belongs only to those who are already wealthy. Yet the law does not measure by quantity, it measures by recognition. A single coin blessed in heart and mind carries more force than a fortune taken for granted. To feel thankful for what is, even in scarcity, calls more to you than complaint, fear, or comparison. Gratitude changes the vibration of the mind, it changes the vibration of life. It opens channels that were closed by neglect or oversight. Daily practice of gratitude is the key. Begin with small things: the roof over your head, the food in your hand, the mind that thinks, the health that functions. Speak your thanks for these gifts until feeling fills the words. Let the gratitude rise from the heart, not only the lips. The law obeys feeling more than words alone. When the heart thanks, the universe responds. When the heart rejoices in small blessings, larger blessings hasten to appear. The law is impartial. It flows wherever recognition dwells. Gratitude also multiplies the value of money. A coin blessed in thankfulness becomes a channel for more. When you receive money, give thanks for its arrival. Even before its use, speak over it: I bless this supply. I see it multiplying in divine ways. I give it freely, and it returns to me manifold. The universe responds to these vibrations with exactness. The coin circulates, opportunities arrive, ideas open, doors unlock, channels appear, and the very act of gratitude becomes the invisible mechanism that pulls more into your life. Many resist gratitude in times of struggle, thinking it difficult to thank when the purse is empty. Yet these are the very times when gratitude works most powerfully, for it signals faith in the unseen abundance. To bless that which seems absent is to declare, I trust the source. I know supply is infinite. I am ready to receive. Gratitude turns lack into a magnet for increase. It does not deny conditions, it sees beyond them, recognizes the good behind the unseen veil, and draws it into the present. Gratitude also transforms giving. When you give, give with thanks, not with reluctance or complaint. A gift given under duress stagnates. A gift given with joy and thankfulness circulates endlessly. The law of giving and receiving responds to the feeling of the heart, not merely to the act. Each act of thankful giving is a seed planted in fertile soil. The universe waters it, the wind lifts it, and it returns to you multiplied in ways beyond imagination. Bless all that you give. Speak, this blesses and returns to me in divine abundance. And the magnet of gratitude draws it back in increased measure. The more you focus on gratitude, the more sensitive you become to supply. Small tokens of wealth, unnoticed before, become visible. A kind word that opens a door, a coin found unexpectedly, an idea that sparks profit, a gift from a friend. All are recognized as blessings and multiplied. Life becomes rich, not merely in money, but in opportunities, ideas, and joy. The mind that gives thanks is the mind that notices the currents of abundance flowing invisibly through each day. Gratitude also shields from fear. Fear blocks supply, fear shrinks the vision, locks the hand, and silences the voice. Gratitude dissolves fear by turning attention to what is already received, proving that the law is faithful, that supply flows, that the unseen abundance exists. Each moment of thankfulness is a proclamation of faith. To give thanks while bills press upon you is to rise above appearances, to declare your trust in the law, and to invite more to flow. Fear cannot resist the force of sincere gratitude. It withers before it, powerless against the magnet of recognition. The law of gratitude also works in anticipation. You may thank for what has not yet appeared, and the law responds as if it were already present. Speak. I am thankful for the abundance flowing to me now. I am grateful for every opportunity, every payment, every gift, every good idea coming into my life. Feel it deeply. The subconscious accepts it as real and moves to produce the outer evidence. The universe never fails to respond to gratitude, for it is the signal that the mind is aligned with the law of supply. Gratitude also multiplies joy. Money, opportunities, ideas, and all forms of supply take on a new quality when received by the thankful heart. They circulate, bless, return, and expand. Life itself becomes a celebration. The magnet of gratitude pulls not only money but also peace, happiness, and clarity. To thank for the little is to set the stage for the greater. To bless the coin is to bless the fortune. To rejoice in one moment is to open the way for a lifetime of prosperity. Thus, to attract money every day, cultivate gratitude as the central practice of the soul. Begin with what you have, acknowledge it, bless it, and watch the unseen respond. Give thanks for each incoming supply, each opportunity, each idea, and each person who contributes to your life. Speak aloud. I am grateful for all that flows to me. I see abundance in every direction. Supply is endless and comes in perfect ways. Let the feeling rise from the heart, let it saturate the mind, let it echo in every action. The law of life cannot resist this force. It bends to it, aligns with it, moves mountains for it. Gratitude, therefore, is not merely a polite courtesy. It is the active law of attraction in motion. It opens the heart, clears the channels, multiplies the smallest blessing, dissolves fear, strengthens faith, enhances giving, and draws the unseen into the seen. It is the lodestone that magnetizes wealth, the unseen force that turns effort into fruit, the quiet power that commands supply to flow freely, daily, abundantly, in harmony with all divine law. As we step back and look upon the truths shared, we see that abundance is not a matter of struggle, timing, or circumstance, but a law as eternal and precise as the stars in the heavens. The words we speak, the faith we hold, the love we give, the pictures we imagine, and the gratitude we cultivate, these are not mere practices, they are the very keys to the invisible treasury of life. Each moment offers a choice to align with this law or to resist it. Every declaration, every act, every vision is an invitation for the unseen to take form. The river of supply flows endlessly, yet it only fills those whose hearts are open, whose minds are clear, whose spirits expect and rejoice. Think for a moment how life responds to the inner world. Fear and doubt contract, faith and gratitude expand. Words spoken in alignment with truth call forces from the invisible into the visible. Giving and receiving dance in perfect rhythm when the heart participates fully. Imagination paints the blueprint and life manifests it. Each act of trust, each acknowledgement of good, each loving gesture, sets in motion a cascade of blessings, often invisible at first, yet faithful in their return. Perhaps the greatest insight is this: abundance is not found in the coin, the bank, or the ledger, but in the heart that knows the source cannot fail. To speak words of power, to act with faith, to release in love, to picture the unseen, and to give thanks for all that is and all that is coming. This is the secret of daily prosperity. The universe waits only for the soul to recognize its own authority, the law to be obeyed, the heart to be aligned. And now, as you carry these truths forward, consider if the law has always responded to your words, your faith, your imagination, your giving, and your gratitude. What wonders might yet appear in your life when you act in conscious awareness each day? How many doors, unseen now, are quietly opening? How many blessings are moving toward you even as you sit in stillness? The unseen is never idle, the law never sleeps, and supply flows ceaselessly. The question is not whether it will come, but whether you will meet it, recognize it, and receive it with an open heart.